there was a thought that, hey, you know what, he's owed a ton of money. You got to be able to pay that if you're the Astros. And it made sense. Is there a club that, yeah, you should pay that because he really completes your team? Is there a team out there?
Yeah, the Dodgers. It just makes sense, right? I mean, he's Southern Cowboy, you know, and I think when you look at the team and where they are, he fits exactly where they are. I mean, you look at the outfield situation, you can throw him out there in left field, you can save him a little bit. Puig has turned his career around. You got obviously you got two young stars in the infield, and Bellinger and Seager, and I just think
and money is not a big issue with them.
And you'd be dealing from a strength if you trade Puig. I mean, you know, Puig's value in the industry goes up and down. I think it's pretty high right now. He showed he was a good team player. He had a nice postseason.
So he's including Puig in the deal. You know. He just threw Puig.
Puig goes back.
You know,
which is fine.
Puig goes back. Okay.
For me, it's the Cardinals. They're just signed about to sign a huge new television contract. It's turning into a major market franchise. He's the one player that complements everything else they have in that lineup. He's, not many clubs you can look at and say, God, they're kind of one player away from being that team. He might be that one player that takes him from the level they're at now, which is good, to another level, which is great.
Yeah, they lack that impact back, right?
And he could say all he wants now about, I don't want to be traded here. But if they get down the tracks with the Cardinals, I asked Stanton in September, I said, who's your favorite player growing up? He's 10 years old in 1998. He says, Mark McGwire. He said, my team was the Cardinals. I wore number 25. I loved the home runs and everything. They could potentially, you could see a scenario where they say, all right, we can sell you on St. Louis. Look at what it did for Mark McGwire. He didn't know St. Louis. He was from California and everything. St. Louis embraced him, loved him. It was great for him for a while. St. Louis has that effect on a lot of guys. You could sell him on that perhaps.
I think another thing to your point, BK, is talking to Mike Hill in the offseason, I see him a little bit down in South Florida. The phone's not ringing off the hook for $295 million. I think that's one thing you got to look at too. Is that was my question. Is like, your phone must be ringing off the hook. You got one of the best players. He's healthy.
No.
He's banked. No, phone's not ringing.
He's going to have to create momentum for this deal to happen. Yeah. He has to create the momentum for this thing to take place.
Hey, by the way, going in, I don't know Derek Jeter is just the face of this, but he is a very, prominent figure in the baseball world.